This is lesson 4.2, solving absolute value equations. 5th period, say hello.
Hi.
Alright, so how to solve an absolute value. Step 1, you need to get the absolute value part by itself. So everything between the absolute value sign lines, you need to get everything that's outside of that away. So in this case, that would be the 2 and the minus 1. Well, do your normal stuff. So add the 1 to both sides. 5 plus 1 is 6. And then divide both sides by 2. So then I've got absolute value of x plus 3 is equal to 6. And we're dividing both sides by 2. Oops, there we go. Divide by 2, divide by 2. And so then that's how you can see right here we've got absolute value of x plus 3 is equal to 3, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. So now the next step is just lose the absolute value lines from the equation and then separate it into two equations. One in which the answer is positive and one in which the answer is negative. And then at that point you just solve each equation. So in this case, on the left-hand side, I'd have to subtract 3 from both sides. Well, 3 minus 3 is 0, so then on one hand, x equals 0 is one solution. I'm going to do the same thing on this other one, but now negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6. So x also equals negative 6. Notice that there are two answers to this because there were two equations. So here's another example with a little bit more to it. Again, anything outside of the absolute value lines needs to be moved, so subtract 5 from both sides. Now I've got negative absolute value of 3 minus 2x equals 2. Get rid of the negative, so just change the signs. Now I'm not going to change the sign within the absolute value, I'm just basically dividing by negative 1, so that becomes positive, the 2 becomes negative. Now I can split this into two equations. I've got 3 minus 2x equals negative 2, and I've got 3 minus 2x equals positive 2. Because the key step to solving the absolute value is taking the answer side, in this case that's the negative 2, and then just on one hand it's negative, on one hand it's positive. That's the key step. So now that I have these two equations, I just go through and I solve them like normal. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. And notice I'm really doing the same steps no matter which equation I'm dealing with. On the left-hand side, negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. Looks like my answer is going to be a fraction. So I've got, if I divide both sides by negative 2, then I've got x equals 5 halves. Big deal, it's a fraction. On the right-hand side, 2 minus 3 is negative 1. And divide both sides by negative 2. Then I get negative 1 divided by negative 2 is positive 1/2, so then my two answers are, I ran out of space here, my two answers are x equals positive 1/2 and x equals positive 5 halves. Alright, so this last one is an entrance ticket. You all need to work on it your own. There is no WSQ, just solve this and have it first thing in class. We're going to go over it. See you tomorrow.